All right, yay. Okay, let's start with some wins. Can you believe it's January 15th? Anyone? Halfway through Jan already. So let's shout out some wins that we have from the week. Mine is I have done my 2 workouts every day, even with this, but this is like a lesson in pivoting. Like I walked out my back door and slipped and fell on my cement stairs this morning. And that was my this whole walking outside situation might not happen today. So I pivoted and my 45-minute workout was outside sledding with my kids. That's what it was today. Very tentatively walking on the ice. Because I didn't want to fall again because my back hurts. So that's
like
mine.
popping the nerve, right?
Yeah. And I definitely hit my spine. It's bruised.
Yeah.
There's a little lump back there. But
well,
I am okay.
A win for me. I'm sorry to hear about that, Michelle. That stinks.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's not because that hurts. My win is I had a great strategy session today with Michelle, and I had a fabulous one last week also with Brooke. And so, and I loved Super Saturday, even though we didn't all get to be together. I was grateful I finally got to log in, and it was truly what I needed this weekend. So that's my win.
Yay. We're small and mighty tonight, so if you want to unmute, you can, or the chat. Let's hear you some more wins before we move on.
I finally have power.
Woo! That is a win. Celebrate that.
I plan on showering after this is over.
I learned through the ice storm that there's such good benefits to having gas. Apparently, you still have hot water when you have gas. We didn't know that until like the last day of our ice storm, by the way. We thought it was some fluky thing that we still had hot water. And then I was like, we could have been taking baths and showers this whole time, but no. Anna, win.
I've been pretty consistent with my exercise. If it's not steps, but I've been really trying to get up and stretch every morning, and because it's been a big deal, because it's like I feel like I've lost half my flexibility that I used to have. Everything hurts when you stretch. So I've just been slowly working on that so I can do a real heavy duty workout.
Good job.
And then I made it through the 3 days of the fasting thing with doing pretty good without feeling really bad. So
yay.
Yes, your reset. Yeah, awesome. My win is that I have not only have I gotten back to 5-mile run, I did one with him in the stroller. So with some 20 pounds of resistance today too.
You get so many props for that.
He needed the nap. My active had kicked in. So I was like, all right, we're going. Because in 2 out of the 3 runs this week that I was able to do were with him. And I could have left him behind, but he has been so grumpy. I was like, all right, you're going in the stroller. You were sleeping because it's good for both of us. Yeah. Yeah. Longest he napped or longest nap he takes are in the stroller.
Tiffany, did you want to shout one out real quick?
I have been kind of honestly struggling this week because of some medical issues with the DBS. So I have been doing my work hours every day this week, even though I have been struggling. I've gotten my steps in, but I have not been walking outside. I'm still a little nervous because I know my balance is better, but ice and the unbalance doesn't work very well. so I have not ventured outside yet, outside of a little bit of playtime with Zach.
Yeah.
So, but my work hours have stayed consistent.
I'm proud of you. That's
Mhm.
awesome.
You're here.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I almost did not go outside. I almost, after I fell, was like, nope, it's not
Yeah.
happening. Like, it is
Because
not.
I do it
Maybe
myself.
I will just go
Yeah.
stand under the eaves of my front porch and do some jumping jacks for 45
Yep.
minutes or something.
Something.
But then my kids went out and sled, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put some better shoes on, not my flip flops.
Yes.
First. Second, nice and slow, and also wasn't walking on a cement patio going
Yes.
upstairs, so that was helpful. Ugh.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
my dad fell at Safeway today too, in the
Oh.
parking lot at Safeway. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Mm. JD fell right in front of me, like running into me, but she like popped right up, and there was just like, I was like, okay, good. All right, I want to highlight MetaBurn today. So MetaBurn, I think most of us know that's a metabolism enhancer, but there's so much more to MetaBurn than simply enhancing your metabolism. So MetaBurn helps burn belly fat specifically, FYI. It helps rev up your metabolism. It helps support energy because there is some caffeine in here. It is green tea. It's from green tea. So always, all of our products, natural caffeine source, right? So I love that because tea, the energy I get from tea is totally different from the energy that I get from like coffee. I honestly don't really feel like I get energy from coffee at all. Like tea definitely is way better. And that's why I love that Active and MetaBurn and stuff use that form of caffeine. There is about 50 milligrams of caffeine per capsule. Okay, so that's a heads up. A lot of people, it says take one capsule twice a day. So everything is per capsule on this because a serving is one capsule. I do recommend taking 2 a day. Most people I work with actually take them both at the same time, which is totally fine. You can take them together, or you can take one at one time, one at another time. But it is about 50 milligrams of caffeine per capsule. So it does have the energy boost. And does anyone else agree that it is a very focused energy? It is like a get stuff done kind of energy, and I love that. But it also helps support mood. That is something that we can clinically claim. Those 3 things, energy, metabolism, and mood, we can clinically claim this helps support mood. We can't specifically like clinically claim like this will get rid of your depression. We can say this can help support your mood. Okay, we're not diagnosing anything or anything along those lines. So part of that is it has 5-HTP. 5-HTP is shown to help support mood. I'm pretty sure Elise, her naturopath, told her to take 5-HTP separately because it helps support mood so much. So
Yeah, my acupuncturist always recommended 5-HTP, and I used to take it. I would buy it from her until I found MetaBurn.
Yeah. So it makes you happy. It gives you energy. It helps you boost your metabolism, aka it helps you feel good. Woohoo! Yes, please.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of adrenal support in MetaBurn too.
Yes. So that's the other thing that most people don't realize, that this does help support your adrenals. So people that are dealing with like adrenal fatigue, that have gone through like stress, have gone through the ringer, those kinds of things. Any kind of like, Elise and I work a lot like with abuse situation, but there's so much more than just abuse, like various different traumas and stuff. This can really help support. The other space that I see it help incredibly is thyroid. So there's ingredients in here that literally help heal your thyroid, balance those thyroid levels. This is not clinical claims, FYI. But I have seen people's labs prior to MetaBurn on MetaBurn. I don't want to say post MetaBurn because they're still using MetaBurn, and all of their T numbers are going the right direction. So some T's are somehow go like sometimes you want your T's to come down, sometimes you want your T's to come up. There's multiple different. There's TSH, there's T3, T4. So there's a bunch of different T numbers in there that are thyroid function numbers. And so I have legit seen people's reports come back and all of the things that need to go up or down or whatever direction to be healthy have started going that direction. So when we're dealing with hypothyroidism, hyper, Hashimoto's, those kinds of things, Graves' disease is thyroid too, I believe. MetaBurn is a beautiful add-in to help support those. Since we're talking about thyroid, I also love to bring in X Factor ingredients in there to support thyroid ease. We have to if you have a thyroid condition, there's inflammation of your thyroid, you need to reduce said inflammation to help it function better. So those are some quick notes. Does anyone have questions on MetaBurn?
Sorry, I had to get up for just 1 second. I know there are a few people that I've heard take 2 a day. I love MetaBurn, but what is the benefit of taking 2?
That's
Per
the
day.
dosage.
Oh, I've always just taken 1, so.
So if you read it, it says adults take 1 capsule twice daily.
Oh, twice. Okay, I just started taking it in the morning and I just left it at 1, so.
Yeah, so I did
Okay.
say that some people will take 2 at the same time. Some people
Mhm.
will separate them. Some people just take 1.
Okay.
Like you can have results. I have
Okay.
used it
Uh-huh.
sparingly. I will be straight, sparingly. And I honestly love the energy. I loved it because of the energy that I got from it.
Yes,
So
me
I'm like,
too.
if I need to get something done, I'll take some MetaBurn. I will
I
typically
had
go ahead.
I had a guy saying, he's like, if I can get that in an IV form and just keep it going.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except when he accidentally took a double dose. He forgot if he
Yeah.
took it or not.
Yeah.
He's like, that was too much.
Okay. All right. Well, I will trade out with my husband and I, because
Yeah.
we love it, both of us.
Yeah. So I will say I either take MetaBurn or I take my active. I don't typically do both.
Oh, okay.
So that's me personally. Like find what
Okay.
works best for you. And that's
Yeah.
why
Okay.
I want to make sure there's 90 milligrams per capsule. So if
Yeah.
you're doing 2 of these and active, we're basically looking at about 300 milligrams of caffeine, which definitely that's a higher dosage of caffeine if we're looking at
Yeah.
caffeine intake. So just a little FYI in there. Also, I do recommend, one thing I didn't talk about, I do recommend taking this with food
Mhm.
and water, both, because we need to make sure it gets all the way down to your stomach. If it gets stuck somewhere, has anyone experienced the heartburn from it?
Not the
Black
heartburn, but
pepper in there, right? Like that's
That-
a
yes.
capsule you cannot pop open and
Do
Ugh.
not open this.
Ooh.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a form of pepper in there, which it's an ingredient we want in there. However, there are some people that really struggle taking it because it doesn't get all the way down. There's some acid
okay.
reflux issues, so it can cause heartburn. So just an FYI on that piece of the puzzle. If you have someone, I start people typically with just 1. With food and with water, like drink that water to get it down, or your slim or whatever. And then like if you can do 2 at the same time, you can do them both at the same time. If you start having issues, space them out again, whatever we need to do. So that's
Okay.
my little thing, just cautionary on MetaBurn. It sounds like you guys are all good. Okay. MetaBurn, check. Elise, did you have something
It
you
also
wanted to
has,
read?
I also know that I don't remember what specific ingredient in there, but it also can help with testosterone, another T
Oh yeah.
production.
It MetaBurn can help
men.
and
Mhm.
women
Men.
technically. Technically, we want to go both
Yeah.
directions. So can active. MetaBurn and active can help in the bedroom.
Libido. Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna share that I take my MetaBurn in the morning and then I do an active in the afternoon, like if I need extra.
Mhm.
But I've never done 2 MetaBurn yet because yeah, when I first started taking it, like I literally felt like I could crawl out of my skin because it took a bit to adjust to.
Oh, wow.
So like know that that could be if you're like super sensitive to caffeine, like which
Yeah.
is me.
Yep. Elise basically had kind of like an affirmation card kind of thing. She shared it in the chat. But she pulled called Crush Your Goals. It says if you have a goal that is very, very far out and you approach it in little steps, you start to get there faster.
I love
That's
it.
the same way, like, how do you climb Mount Everest?
One step at a time.
Exactly. Yep. Sometimes you take bigger steps and sometimes you got to take smaller steps, but that's the only way to get there. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about consistency. Speaking of, this is very fitting of your Crush Your Goals cards, because the only way to get anywhere really is with consistency. So small steps over time, right? You got to keep taking those steps. The baby steps, the bigger, sometimes they're bigger steps. Sometimes you try and do a little leap across a canyon or something. But you have to consistently, like climbing Mount Everest, you have to consistently keep moving. That's the only way you're going to get there. And it's the same, like we talk about this with our products, right? So if you want to see results, you have to consistently take the products. If you want 6-pack abs, you have to consistently train your muscles. I'm not going to say do sit-ups because I don't believe in sit-ups and crunches, but you have to you have to lift weights in order to get a 6-pack. There's no other way to do it. You cannot get a 6-pack from the kitchen. It's going to help, but it's not, you can't build muscle simply from eating healthy. You can't build muscle from taking supplements. You can't, the only way to build muscle is to work the muscles, right? The only way to get somewhere is to work anywhere, to do anything, right? You have to take the action every day. So something with like creating, how do you make something so it's easy to be consistent? Because you really truly do want it to be easy. I saw this great quote the other day that was like, be lame. You want to be boring. If you really think about it, because that consistency is boring, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But if you do it, if you create that consistent effort and those consistent habits, it creates something incredible. So being boring is actually amazing. I think. I'm like, my day, if you look at my day to day, it is boring. But I stinking love my day to day because crap, I get to wake up. I get to go play with my ducks in the morning. I get to walk around. I get to hug and kiss my kids. We get to watch some TV shows together. This is literally my everyday. My kids, I don't have to get up at the butt crack of dawn and shove my kids out the door to get the school bus or bundle up in the car and drive them and freeze my butt off the whole way. I don't have to do any of that. And I love it. I don't want to take my kids to school and I don't have to. I get to live the boring. If you watch my everyday, you'd probably be like, well, this is boring. You're just hanging out with your kids all day. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I love it. And because I consistently worked my business for years and years and years, I have created this boring life that I absolutely love. The fact that I go for a run every day, like I have this we all have this schedule that we kind of go through every day that we don't even realize we're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're totally fine. I like interaction, to be honest. I like the talking. So that's kind of what what boring things though do you need to take out of your life and what boring things do you need to add into your life? Because sometimes we get so into this that we like screw up somewhere along the way. We've got too much, we're just kind of going through too many motions without realizing it. And so sometimes it's like you start going through the motions, you're like, I didn't brush my teeth this morning. Oops. So it's like, I forgot to take my products. Oops. So we have to create like new habits in there. So you guys know I'm doing 75 hard. I had to change some habits to do 75 hard. And part of that was going for a walk every morning. It's like at this point now, like I'm 15 days into it and I'm already like, it's a habit. Like, okay, these are a couple things I do. And then I get grab Huckleberry and we go for a walk. Today was the only day we didn't do that. We did it for 14 days straight. So you create new habits to be consistent by taking an existing habit and putting them together. And we have habits all day long. Okay. So my habit of getting up and taking my ease, the first thing, like I keep my phone in my bathroom. My alarm goes off. I get up, I go into my bathroom, I turn off and I take my ease. Literally, that's how it works. I put that habit into place. So the ease is in my bathroom. I put that habit into place because I want my ease to work as best as possible. And I know that being fasted as long as possible after I take the ease is going to give me better benefit. So that's why I do that.
I have a question for you, Michelle.
Yeah.
'Cause I get up and I take my ease. It's in my bathroom also. I take it also with my Vital Biome. I was thinking this morning, I'm like, I wonder if I should do this. Like, is it?
It's totally fine. No,
Okay.
it's totally fine. The only reason I just take my ease then is because I have a lot of ease. I have a lot of bottles of ease. All my other products I only have like one of in my house. And so I
Yeah.
keep all of my other products in my kitchen. So after I take my ease, I go and I let my ducks out and I hang for my swing set. It doesn't matter. I ground, whatever. Then I go in and I make my hydrate. I make my morning drink and I take the rest of my supplements. So that's what I take them all like 15 minutes later is when I take the rest of them basically. But all of these habits that are like this boring thing that I have is now a consistent part of my life because I put these habits together. Okay. So question for all of you, I want a little feedback is what do you need to be more consistent in with your life? And what is your thought process around that? You guys can share, you can put it in the chat. Think of one thing you need to be more consistent with first.
Reach out.
Okay, good. I'll be straight, and it's something I've been fighting forever, and it's literally like my schedule. Like I have these habits, and I've always just been overwhelmed by creating a schedule, and I have finally part of the reason I'm doing 75 hard is to create more consistency in my schedule. I'm not even kidding you. That's literally why I'm doing 75 hard. To be better with my time and more consistent in my days. Being better with my time is creating a schedule. And I have fought a schedule pretty much since I said peace out to personal training. And I think it was because my life was schedule. Like every 30 minutes of my life was scheduled as a personal trainer. Like it was all day, every day. I worked 6 days a week. My one day off, I just ran for a run and I passed out on the couch. Okay. So I know what my thought process is. And I also know where my thought process is going. And I'm legit in the process of making that schedule that's not going to overwhelm me and is going to make me more consistent.
Mine is time management.
Okay.
I suffer from like time blindness. I'll just get in, like you and I were talking, set a timer during my coaching because I'll get on one thing and before you know it, 2 hours is gone.
The
And it's like,
timer is
whoa,
powerful. The
where to
timer.
go, you know?
Yeah.
So.
I would like setting more alarms surrounding your life, I think, and start with a baby step here, because I think so when we're looking at consistency, it's not necessarily a time management, like we're looking at kind of different things, but I get what you're saying. I would start setting a couple, either like put it into your phone, like scheduled time things that you do every day. And so like when you have alarms that go off for certain things, just do a couple, put like 2 into your phone tonight before you go to bed. What do they need to be? Maybe it's like an alarm for when you're going for your walk every day. And then alarm for when you're going to work every day.
Yep.
And you already know for like with the work piece, you sit down, you set your timer and you go.
Yep.
Timer goes off, you set it again for the next one and you go.
Mhm.
So I would start with just a baby step with that. 2 things that you're gonna have alarm for every day to keep you consistent with.
Mhm.
Okay.
I want to be more consistent with actually setting an alarm to wake up. I have gotten, I used to just automatically wake up, at 6 a.m. and before the house wakes up and be able to do my thing. And, baby makes that different.
So
Baby,
I think that was a huge part for me too with the schedule
Mhm.
is after I had Sophie, I think you guys know, like I was so anxious about everything. Like any kind of routine, I was anxious about because I had no energy for any, like I was like, I don't have the brain power. Like leaving my house, I had an anxiety attack because I'm like, I have to feed her and I have to get her ready and I have to be ready, I have to be dressed and and so like I was like, I can't do a schedule, like no schedule. And that's when it just all went out the window.
Yeah. But, for me to get that morning time, I needed to actually set an alarm for it. Because right now I'm just kind of getting it when it works out that I can sneak away from the baby and do it. But yeah, I need to make it. If I set an alarm, then it'll happen.
Okay.
And
So you're setting your
even
alarm.
though yes, even though cuddling with him
Lots of
until I feel like getting up has been nice, but I'm missing that morning time is harder to get because of that. So
Yep. All right. Elise, what's your thought process around reach outs?
Well, after our chat today, I have a plan in place from my 9 to 1 o'clock of working. And I have my 10-minute block, my 20-minute block, my 30-minute block, and my 35 to 40-minute block. So like now I have a system each time that I sit down to work.
Perfect. Yay.
Yeah. And I also have my awesome planner because I put everything in my phone, but when I see stuff on paper, like in an actual planner, and I know this from my many years in real estate and my other business, that like I make more money when I do paper planners. So I'm like, I need to get back to that.
Yes. Yeah. Does anybody else want to share? Nicole, I love this. First they're like, what's the thought process around it and how can we put it into action? Because being more consistent with something needs to be a little bit more, it's almost like making a SMART goal kind of.
So my thought process around it is more towards my, I guess, actual job, because I tend to be always available when anybody and everybody needs me. And that's been an expectation that if somebody needs something, they reach out and I'm going to do it, which I don't necessarily get paid for that. So it's more, I need to say, no, that can wait till I'm ready to do it and be okay with that, because it does lead to disappointment and then it angers people sometimes. So I need to be more, no, that's not what's happening right now. And I'll get to it when I'm available to, or during the hours I'm actually working.
Or you could just say, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yes, I struggle with that personally because I don't do disappointment well. Like I don't do disappointing people well, and that's my own thing I have to work on. But
so
yes.
I love this. Elise, I don't know if you're at this spot in the book yet. I'm reading this book. Elise is actually reading it right now too. It's called Changes That Heal. I recommend it. There's parts where I'm like, this doesn't apply, but then there's parts like, ooh, that was good. There is a whole section on boundaries.
Oh.
And I love there's this, he brings real life people into this. It's written by a psychologist, and it's biblically based as well, which
Dr. Henry Cloud.
Yeah, by Dr. Henry Cloud. Super powerful. So he talks about one of his patients, that's what there are. Basically had a similar situation, changes that heal. a similar situation where it actually was more his home life. His wife was always asking him to do all of these things around the house, like all of this. And he was a pastor, and he was always like, he was working a ton, and he was the yes man. Elise has it in her hand. He always said yes to all the demands. Like, yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll take care of that. The to-do lists were crazy long, and people are like, hey, he's, as a pastor, hey, we need help with this. Hey, can you pray for us for this? Hey, we need da, 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 da. And he was always saying yes. And then the kicker was, because he didn't want to disappoint anyone, he was disappointing everyone because he was saying yes and he wasn't delivering. He couldn't do all of it. He's like, I can never finish my to-do list. I can never make my wife happy. My wife's always nagging me because I'm not getting everything done. So when you actually set those boundaries, if you set them right, you say, actually, I have too big of a workload right now. I'm not going to be able to take that on and finish in a realistic time frame for you. That's being honest. Like, then you're not going to let anyone down. And I think someone's going to respect the fact that you say, like, I don't have time for that. Like, I've got all of this. I can't do that. Also, so part of my goal for this year is it's kind of with boundaries. It's like reclaiming my time is the thought process for it. And focusing on where I put my energy. And somebody invited me to like a Pamper Chef party. Like, it's nothing. And I straight said, like, thank you so much for the invite, but I know that I'm not going to be purchasing anything because I don't need any kitchen stuff. And I need to keep my energy and time focused in other places right now. I appreciate you. And she responded like very sweet, like, think so, thank you. And like, she's a customer of mine too. So we started talking Plexus, but I just straight up, like, that was my boundary. I'm not going to do it. I need to respect my time. There's nothing wrong with that. Lacking of planning on others' part is not your emergency. Yes, Christine. So good. Okay. Anyone else super quick, because I'm going to switch over to the training that we're going to do on building your network.
My thing is organization. I'm going to tell you, I lose every stinking password, and I just have to let you know, Ashley just signed up. I just got it in. Yes, I know.
Wait, hold on. Who?
Yes.
Ashley Landers.
You've got to be freaking kidding me.
No.
That is amazing.
Hold on. I think there's pigs
no.
flying outside. Hold on.
We need to just throw a party. I mean, Anna
I
did
do
it too.
All I
believe-
did was
yes.
talk to her a little bit today. I mean, just before the meeting, we were texting some. I was just, I don't know.
Are you sure? Like, the order went through? Like, are you sure?
Yeah, I just got it. I just checked.
Are you sure?
I just
Nice.
talked to her. We're gonna check in with each other every day. So
Well done, Anna. Well done.
You are like a miracle worker. You just did something that Joy and
That-
I haven't been able to do for 2 years.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, she told me she had been talking to Joy, but
No,
I
it
just-
doesn't.
We
We
don't care
want
who she's
her.
under. She's ordering.
yeah,
We want her to use the products. So thank
Yeah.
you. Hallelujah.
yeah. I needed that today because I've been pretty rough on myself and just been
That is so
I'm so
significant.
proud
Anna.
of you.
so.
Uh-huh.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
That's
don't-
awesome.
After our conversation 2 days, 2 days ago, yes.
Uh-huh.
And that was a 5-minute conversation today, and I think something I just texted her and I told her about my boots slipping on, and yeah, so
Yes.
We did it.
That
and
was
she
her-
okay, get this, she totally ignored